Have you ever felt that there's more to this life than what your physical senses can perceive? That behind the veil of ordinary reality, there exists a doorway to higher consciousness, an inner light that reveals the truth of your immortal nature? Great yogis and mystics have spoken for ages about the mysterious power of the third eye, a divine, spiritual eye that grants inner vision, wisdom, and liberation. Today, we will explore the deeply insightful teachings of the great Paramhansa Yogananda, the author of Autobiography of a Yogi, on this sacred subject. Stay with me till the end, as we unveil the forgotten wisdom of the third eye, how to recognize its signs, how to awaken it, and what Yogananda revealed about its power in this life and beyond. Before we enter the mystical realm of the third eye, let us briefly remember the life and mission of Paramhansa Yogananda. Born in 1893 in India, Yogananda dedicated his life to seeking God, meditating in the Himalayas, and studying under great spiritual masters. His most renowned work, Autobiography of a Yogi, introduced millions to the ancient science of Kriya Yoga and the path to self-realization. Yogananda was not a mere scholar but a realized yogi who directly experienced divine realities. His teachings on the third eye come not from theory but from profound inner experience, making them precious for any spiritual seeker longing to pierce the veil of illusion and behold the eternal truth. So, what exactly is the third eye? In yogic philosophy, it's referred to as the Ajna chakra, located between the eyebrows at the point called the kutastha, or spiritual eye. Yogananda taught that the third eye is not a physical organ but a spiritual center through which the soul perceives higher realities. It is the seat of spiritual intuition and inner sight, the gateway to divine wisdom and cosmic awareness. When this center is awakened, one can perceive the subtle energies of the universe, commune with higher beings, and directly experience the presence of God. Yogananda described the appearance of the spiritual eye during deep meditation as a golden halo, with a deep blue center and a shining white star in the middle. This is not a mental visualization but a direct vision seen in the forehead's inner screen when the mind becomes deeply still and centered. In this sacred vision lies the power to transcend the physical plane and glimpse the immortal soul. Why did God design this third eye within us? According to Yogananda, human beings are not meant to remain trapped in the prison of the senses. The physical eyes can only show us a fraction of reality, forms, colors, and names. But the third eye reveals the unchanging, eternal essence behind these changing forms. It allows one to see the inner light, to hear the sacred sounds of creation, and to recognize one's unity with the entire cosmos. Yogananda emphasized that the third eye is also the channel through which the soul exits the body at the time of death. A yogi who consciously exits through this center achieves liberation and merges into divine bliss. Even during life, awakening the third eye grants profound wisdom, peace, and divine love, transforming the seeker into a master of life and death. Now, how can you recognize if your third eye is beginning to awaken? Yogananda taught that certain signs naturally appear as the soul advances in meditation. First, there's a growing sense of inner calmness and detachment from outer distractions. You may find yourself less affected by worldly concerns and more drawn to solitude, meditation, and contemplation of the eternal. Second, you might experience flashes of inner light during meditation, soft glows, or a shimmering star-like point at the forehead. Gentle pressure or warmth between the eyebrows, even when the eyes are closed, is another sign. As the awakening progresses, inner visions may appear, scenes from past lives, encounters with saints, or visions of divine beings. Auditory experiences like the sound of bells, or celestial music are also common as the inner senses unfold. However, Yogananda warned against seeking these signs for their own sake. The true sign of third eye awakening is a growing sense of unity with all beings, unconditional love, and a constant remembrance of the divine in all circumstances. Yogananda was a master of meditation, and he shared a precise technique for concentrating at the third eye. Let's carefully understand the steps. First, find a quiet, undisturbed place where you can sit comfortably. Sit upright with your spine straight and chest lifted. Close your eyes gently and focus your gaze inward and upward, toward the point between your eyebrows, the kutastha. Yogananda called this lifting your gaze to the Christ center. Begin by taking a few deep, slow breaths to relax the body and calm the mind. Then, silently chant a sacred sound, such as Om, or mentally call to God in the language of your heart. As you continue to concentrate at the third eye, imagine a tiny point of light there. Don't strain the eyes. The upward gaze should be gentle, as if gazing into infinity. Yogananda recommended practicing the Hong Sao technique, where you silently think Hong while inhaling and Sao while exhaling, mentally watching the breath. This gradually interiorizes the mind. When the mind becomes completely still, the inner light appears naturally. In deep states, the spiritual eye manifests as a golden halo, blue center, and white star. Enter into that star and merge your consciousness with the infinite. Despite having this divine faculty within them, most people never awaken their third eye in a lifetime. Yogananda explained that material desires, sensory attachments, restless thoughts, and negative emotions cloud this center like heavy fog. The incessant outward focus of the mind prevents the inner light from shining forth. The modern world's distractions, constant noise, screens, ambition, and fear make it even harder. People identify with their bodies and egos, never questioning what lies beyond. Yogananda often said that unless one turns inward through regular meditation, prayer, and moral living, the third eye remains dormant. He also emphasized that awakening this center without purification can lead to misuse of powers or delusion. Hence, sincere seekers must cultivate virtues like humility, self-control, compassion, and devotion alongside meditation. One of Yogananda's most remarkable teachings is the role of the third eye in the afterlife. At the time of death, the soul naturally leaves the body through the third eye or one of the lower chakras. Yogananda taught that ordinary souls, burdened by desires and attachments, exit through the lower centers, leading to rebirth on earth or astral planes. However, an advanced yogi or awakened soul, who has meditated on the spiritual eye, exits consciously through the forehead, entering the higher astral or causal worlds. Such a departure is accompanied by a burst of divine light and bliss. In his book, Autobiography of a Yogi, Yogananda recounts how saints like Sri Yukteswar and Lahiri Mahasaya consciously exited through the third eye, merging with the infinite. He urged all seekers to prepare for this supreme moment by meditating regularly and keeping their consciousness uplifted. To awaken the third eye, Yogananda recommended certain daily habits. Morning and evening meditation is essential, with focused attention at the spiritual eye. He advised spending time in nature, contemplating the beauty and presence of God in all forms. Chanting sacred mantras like Om or mentally invoking the divine throughout the day keeps the third eye energy active. Practicing kindness, truthfulness, moderation, and devotion purifies the heart and mind, clearing obstacles from the path. Yogananda also suggested keeping a picture of a saint or a spiritual symbol at eye level in your meditation room. Looking at it before meditation helps center the mind at the Kutastha. Lastly, he emphasized keeping good company, satsang, reading spiritual books, and listening to uplifting talks to reinforce higher consciousness. As we reach the close of this profound journey, remember Yogananda's timeless assurance: the soul is bound to realize its immortal nature. No matter how many lifetimes it takes, one day you will awaken, and the inner light will flood your being with eternal joy. The third eye is not a myth or a mystical fantasy. It is a living, radiant reality within you. The more sincerely you meditate, purify your heart, and live in tune with divine principles, the more this inner vision will reveal itself. And when that light comes, no sorrow, no fear, no death can ever touch you again. You will realize yourself as an immortal, blissful child of God, forever free. So meditate daily, love deeply, and seek the eternal light within.